Right, we're going to do a test run of this. I'm just going to see, because I think, all right, so I think this is, so a kind of extraordinary thing happened to me yesterday. Mundane, but it turned out to feel really extraordinary, and so I wanted to talk about it. So a lot of you may know I'm an artist, I'm a musician and an actor, and over the pandemic I was working on this album project that turned into an album and a podcast and a video, and then some merch. Like, it was just a whole heap of collective creative experience. It was called Land of the Living, and it was a murder concept album, and I put it out last year. It was my third Bully Heart album, my band album, but my seventh album, full-length album that I've made to date. And I think it's probably my best album. I think it's the one that speaks the most of my influences of who I am and what I want to say and how I want to say it, and my ability to collaborate and storytelling, all that. So I put all that out last year, and it was really an exciting, fun sort of culmination of all that. And then it was over. Like 3 years of my life was sort of like, and we're done. And I'm sure lots of people out there can identify with, then you hit this moment where you are a little empty. You know, it's like you birthed something and you're empty and you're a little lost. And I've been deep in that moment for a number of months now. And the reason that I'm making this video today is that I got just a Facebook message yesterday, of all things, a Facebook message from a really incredible creative friend of mine I've known for years. He's an amazing musician. He's like a ringleader of sorts. He sort of gathers creative forces together and creates all kinds of shows, and he's really awesome. I've known him for years. He's been a fan and a friend, and like a mutual, we're sort of mutual fans of each other's work. He wrote me yesterday out of the blue. I haven't talked to him in months. And he was like, "Hey, Holly, I just wanted to let you know that Land of the Living is like pure genius." Just out of the blue. He just dropped that in my lap. And I was like, whoa. And he goes on to explain this story about how he was in the car on a road trip with a bunch of musicians on the way to some shows, and he had a playlist on, and then some of my songs from that album were in the playlist, and a bunch of people in the car were like, "Who's that? What's this? This is cool," right? And I can't tell you, I mean, it sounds so like, oh yeah, you must hear stuff like that all the time. First of all, every once in a while I do hear really incredibly lovely things from people, but not very often. Not like this. And the most amazing thing happened once I was done exchanging, little missives with him on Facebook. Like, immediately, it was like some sort of floodgate opened up. And all of a sudden, like, I was like a kid, and I was like, oh my God, you know what I could do? I could get out my old keyboard and I could start making synth pads again. You know what I want to do? You know what I want to do? I want to, I've been doing a lot of walking lately, and I'm just like, I'm gonna record myself walking, and I'm gonna blah, 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 all this stuff, just a cacophony of ideas in my head. In this sort of like, I've been opening the cupboard and the cupboard's bare. I try to figure out some idea, come down to the music room, and it's just like crickets, for weeks and weeks and weeks. And all of a sudden, all it took was someone who I really care about and admire to see me, connect with my work, and then tell me about it. And so I wanted to say, we should do that more often. I try as much as I can now and then to just sort of reach out to people and give them sort of like a psychic pat on the back now and then, my friends or, you know, people I think are cool. But after my experience yesterday, I think I'm going to be much more cognizant about making a point of reaching out to people when I feel something, when I experience their work, or even just watching them do something lovely, like be nice to another human being. I want to tell them, hey, I saw you, it affected me, like you're here, and I see you, and that was cool. It means so much. It means so much. Those tiny moments of recognition and connection and communion. I've been noticing that both of my kids, who are Gen Z artists, my son is a musician, my daughter is a photographer. On their Instagram stories, they are constantly shouting out about all their artistic people. You know, Josephine is constantly sharing her fellow artists' work on her stories. Truman is constantly, you know, like a PR man for his friends' shows. It's just this sort of lovely communal beehive thing that I have noticed seems to come a little more natural to maybe the younger generations underneath mine. I feel like I had to learn this, to be a little longer to learn this. So, in that spirit, I'm passing it on to whomever is watching this, listening to me rant, which I like to do. So I thought, I'm going to do this more often, and I'm going to tell people stuff. So this is what I'm telling you today. Reach out to someone who you think is really, really fucking cool and tell them that, or tell them about their work, or tell them about why you care about them, because you never know, it could totally break open something for them that they've been needing for a long time.